Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, and we are discussing politics, as Ayo said. My guest has resigned from the Labour Party, and I'm trying to understand what's happening. I hear he's following his principal around, and we're talking about opposition, and of course, Peter Obi's defection. And joining us for that conversation is the former national chairman of IPAC, Mr. Peter Ame. Thank you so much for being with us on the program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pleasure to be with you.
All right. Before we get there, you were listening to Mr. Jimoh Moshood. You were uncomfortable here because that begging at every checkpoint. He said before he left, he was saying that the route to this office, you wouldn't see that going on. That's not true. From Area 1 to the Central Mosque. And it happens at all those places.
It is not just begging. It is mandatory toll payment.
Yes, mandatory toll payments.
You must pay something. You can't move. You see it by National Stadium, National Judicial Institute, by under the bridge. You see it at very close to Turkish Hospital. You see it at Area 1.
Area 1,
You see it at Central Mosque.
Central Mosque.
As you are going around, you must put 500 naira in that center of your car so that you pass peacefully. Because
in fact, the Central Mosque on is two sides.
Yeah,
the one that is near the park.
The park and the one opposite.
And the one opposite the mosque directly.
Facing the mosque directly. How do you tell a man waving a gun at you that please, I want to pass, and he's telling you, Oga, where are you coming from? Why are you? I say no. Please, I'm going to my house. I pass here every day. So don't say, Oga, what do you have? If you say you don't have it, they'll keep you there and they'll continue to cause traffic unnecessarily until you drop something. And people are afraid for their lives because a report can be written now and say, no, though the man is popular, though the woman is popular, but this was what he was doing at the middle of the night. And people will start to have doubt of your credibility. In most civilized countries today, you don't see the level of road blocking that you see with policing. There's so much technology that can be deployed while the police stay off the road and stay by the side, to be able to respond to emergency. You can't continue to put rickety tires and wooden sticks on the road and defacing our national, capital.
I don't know. I don't live in Lagos. We live in Abuja here. It's now become a rule, sort of, that you must have at least 500 naira.
You must change it and put in your car.
Just keep in your car because it's night time.
If you don't have, you explain. You go explain tire.
So I think Mr. Jimoh Moshood should probably look at it. Something that is very serious, and the IG in all of his reforms, maybe this is something that he should look into. So let's go back to politics. What is going on? You're leaving the Labour Party, or you have left
the
Labour Party.
Yes.
Talk to us about that. And why the NDC? Is it just about your loyalty to Peter Obi?
No, look, for me, it's about the injustice that is permeating around the political cycle of this country. And for the opposition that have not been able to get it well is because of the injustice that have existed. We talk about rotational presidency. We talk about South having their term and the North having their term. And if you find out that the South has just done one term, and people are disappointed in the performance of the current government and felt that we should have a capable, competent person to come and actually complete the term of the South, you should look for that competent person. And you don't do anything that will create a mechanical asphyxiation that you want to strangulate the opportunity for the South to complete their term. So, and at this time, I thought it would be wrong if anybody is ambivalent, you want to stay on the sideline and you are not deciding that which decision will you take. The decision to take today is to be able to create stability for our country, is to be able to allow inclusivity and opportunity for everybody within this country called Nigeria to have a say and to have opportunity to govern. And with this rotational thing has created some level of balance and stability in our democratic discussion because the agitation, to be able to balance this arise from, look, democracy all over the world is worked according to the interest and opportunity and how the people reason. Nigeria is a very complex state. And if we don't balance it from that angle, and if people don't understand to keep agreement, then it's going to be difficult for our democracy.
So you're following Peter Obi to the NDC?
No, that decision will be made. I'm having a meeting with some of our supporters today, and we'll make that decision.
Some people said, since Peter Obi moved to the NDC, he's been getting a lot of backlash. And we're seeing people calling him all kinds of names that we can't even say on air here. But basically saying that this is a person who's afraid of primaries, doesn't want to compete. That whole I don't want trouble. No, you need trouble as a politician. If you cannot handle primaries, how are you going to handle a complex nation like Nigeria? That's the question that people have for Peter Obi right now. Do you see your principal as someone who's afraid of primaries and doesn't want to compete, wants to go to a place and they give him the ticket of the party on a platter of gold?
If you scrutinize history very well, history is very kind to those who are consistent, who For Obi contested primaries when he wanted the ABGA ticket. No, nobody will say that.
ABGA?
Yes, ABGA.
You know,
so but that people are saying he never contested primary. There was an option A4 in the ABGA primaries, which he won. And I know those who participated in that primary. I know what happened. But it's just that the other person on the other side, which happens to be the founder of ADC, is my friend. And these are not, I don't discuss friendship or private discussion on television. I just like to look at the issues. But the fact still remains that Obi did not just move to the ADC. He moved to the ADC hoping that the ADC will create a political stability by following the rotational processes. You know, and these issues that we have, the injustice that have, what has crumbled the opposition in 2023, from 2023 to date, is as a result that some are not committed to the principle of equity and inclusivity, which states that rotational presidency is what we have. And if you are not committed to those principles, and you try to call names, the amount of energy they are used to talk about, I think they should have been using it to sell their candidate. That is to show that there's nothing to sell. If there's something to sell, a man walk out of you, you are behaving like a jilted lover, you know, as if you are emotionally, you know, distraught, you are broken, you are feeling so pain. That means that person came with a component that would have survived your marriage. And you have realized at the tail end that this is what we should have done, maybe probably would have done. Even the APC, where Tinubu holds overwhelming authority, or who will get the ticket, the presidential ticket, and he will want it, he will announce it before the primaries. The party still went ahead to zone. That is to show they believe in this national balancing equation that we have been doing.
Yeah, but you're not answering my question.
Other parties
Hi,
have
Chief.
done. I'm getting there.
Hi, Chief. Let's answer the question directly now. You say, and that's not fair. That phrase you used.
But that's what's happening.
Like jilted lovers. But my question is, your principal, is he scared of primaries now?
He's not.
ABGA was a long time ago.
No, but there was,
anytime they don't give him a ticket,
how many primaries has he ran? Even the one that Atiku won in 2019. Look at all the people Atiku has contested with as vice presidential candidate. No one brought votes to that ticket than Obi. All of them had less votes. So you should know that Obi was the material in the equation. And Obi is somebody who fights to the end. Look at what happened.
Fights to the end?
No, let me tell you something. You need to allow me to just laugh.
Okay.
When the 2019 election was conducted, Obi went to court every day. Atiku wasn't. Obi went to court every day. Obi is somebody who will never talk negative about Atiku. He will never talk negative about anybody. He wants to be on the issue. He keep on telling you, don't discuss about people. And that's what we are learning to do. And we have also maintained those processes. Let me tell you one very important fact. That even the Labour Party primaries, I was there at Asaba. It was people willingly stepped down. He wanted to contest with the people. It was people who say, oh, you are more competent, people like you more. Can you just go ahead and solve Nigerian problem because of the physical irresponsibility we see in our management of our resources, which you are very good at. That is not that he stepped anybody down. And this one now that has happened in the ADC, it is the fact that he is looking for the supporters rallied around him, and they are looking for a party that is not encumbered by internal crisis. That's not, you know, in a state of instability. Because you look at the kind of cases the party has, look at the situation that the Supreme Court judgment is like a trap. And the target of all these amended laws, 21 days we also may register, all these things is to stop Obi from being on the ballot. And if you attempt to stop a man, let's say, they say if the bird learns to fly without perching, the other will learn to shoot without missing. So Obi is committed to the fact that this principle of equity must be maintained, and also that party stability is also very important, and inclusivity is a bench, how they call it, a solid rock upon which you can build a stable, just stable society. So these are just the issue. There's nothing personal about, and the only response that really makes sense, and it shows maturity, is the response by David Mark, the chairman of ADC. He said, look, though this is a very difficult situation for us, but we are going to work extra hard. You don't have to attack somebody. You are feeling so. There are a lot of other Southern aspirants in your party. Why not just concentrate on see how you can promote those ones? This man has taken a decision for the best interest of this country, for the best interest of his supporters, and for the best interest of prosperity. Look, Kwankwaso, this decision didn't come easy for Kwankwaso. You know that. And people are saying, oh, ADC, the NDC is new party. Look, don't forget that the key decision that is a member of the NDC today did make sure that nobody won. The PDP is party won by ESA. Today they are all together with Obi. That is a plus. That was not there before. Kwankwaso is on Kano. It's a plus. People are not looking at the calculation, the very strategic calculation taken by Obi, to be able to have a platform, a free platform that will be able to guarantee the interest of the, you know, teaming supporters and those who wish for a credible system.
So he's guaranteed the ticket in NDC?
No, it's a platform. I'm not saying don't ticket.
Is he guaranteed the ticket
in NDC? NDC have clearly said. They didn't say we zone to Obi. They said we zone to the south. That is the kind of balance we want. All Southerners should go and contest in the primaries. It's open. Yeah, but when I joined the party, I will look at all the other issues. If I eventually join, I will look at all the other issues that are there. If they are comfortable for me, I didn't go to the 80s. I stayed in Labour. Leaving Labour was a difficult...
And that's actually very curious. Because at the time when Peter Obi left Labour Party and moved to the ADC, you didn't move.
I didn't move.
Why didn't you move to the ADC?
Obi and people like Aisha, they will be my witness. I said, look, the composition, these people will not keep to an agreement. Don't go there. They won't keep to an agreement.
You knew that they were not going to give.
No, I'm very sure of that. They will not ticket. They won't keep to zoning to the south.
Okay.
I'm like I tell you, I'm
zoning issue.
I'm convinced about.
You were certain that they were not going to zone to the south.
They were not zoning because I look at the kind of rigmarole, the kind of planning they were having, and the kind of small cachet of meetings they were holding, and the statement from some of the people who were there at national. I analyzed it, and I knew they were not going to keep to national zoning.
Did you tell Peter Obi this?
I told a lot of our friends, a lot of our colleagues, we work together, and they're not going to keep to zoning.
They didn't listen to you when you told them.
I'm not going to be a party to somebody that would destroy what have caused injustice in our political equation and who have caused the kind of imbalance that is disrupting the entire opposition. I wasn't going to be a party to that, and that's why I stayed. And I've seen that other parties have done to the south. From there, I will make my decision and then move to further my political career. The
base with which you're with which Peter Obi is joining the NDC, of course, is the Obedient Movement. I don't know if you saw what happened online. There was another group. They said they're a faction. Oh, you saw it as well. There's a group that said they're a faction of the Obedience Movement, and they changed. They said they've changed their name from OBI to OBE, and they said they're saying they don't want anything to do with Peter Obi. Are they part of the Obedient Movement? And does the Obedient Movement have a structure, leadership structure, and all of that going on?
See, Obedient was an organic.
It was organic. Yes.
Very organic. People joined the elder statesmen. Everybody felt, just for Obi. And when eventually our structure, the leadership of the structure is known. Satanko, my friend, for many years, like a brother, he's the national coordinator global for the Obedient Movement, appointed by the leader of the movement. And if for anybody to come, I know Barry. Barry is like a brother to me.
Okay, so you know the person who said that thing.
But you know
was
Barry.
He a member of the Obedience
You know Barry
movement?
with his character. Barry is the member of Abure faction of the Labour Party. Okay. I think they are still part of those who are still agree that they are not part of the Obedient movement, and they want them to be absorbed into the Obedient movement. I think he's not going through the right way. If I just reach out to the right people, they would have absorbed him. The attempt to try to create a non-existent faction. I think that our political system should go some level of maturity, and our journalists should continue to interrogate these people on a very higher level, because we can't have people just wake up and get popularity for being irresponsible act. It's true, because I think we should be able to critically examine some things that are newsworthy and some that are not.
No, but if someone who we have seen around your principal from time, at least back in the day, during the Labour Party heyday, if we start to see someone like that start to say things online, it's only natural that we would ask you, if you know about this. Do you know, or is this just someone making noise?
Even you that have not had public office, as popular as you are, you go outside, people want to snap pictures with you. It's the truth, yeah. So for somebody who is a governor, whether you're a governor in any of the state or you're a former governor, and you are as popular as people snap pictures and then use the pictures to trade.
And he is everywhere, isn't he?
I can give you pictures. Those who have gotten commissioner, those who have gotten universities for my approval and all these things, but because for just snapping picture with Peter Obi, I can give you those statistics. It is what we know. For me, I think there should be morality in politics. It's what I've maintained all my life. If I had the opportunity, I would have remained in one party for the rest of my life and then go home. Because politics have become so lucrative that people who go to National Assembly drive SUV cars and they buy new ones with federal government money, and yet the healthcare centers and community development structures are not really helping our people to grow. These are the challenges.
Let's bring in Ayo. Ayo, go ahead.
Quick one, Mr. Ahmed. You talked about this moving from place to place, by Mr. Peter Obi. Well, not to make an issue of it, but take an issue of, I don't know, principle. Because I remember when Mr. Peter Obi was still with APCA, he made a statement. I don't know whether he was still governor at the time, or maybe it was after he left as governor. he made a statement that said he doesn't see any sense in politicians moving from party to party. If there is he said it was an interview. It was if there's any problem in your party, you stay there, you resolve the issues, you solve the problem. That just moving from party to party, he didn't see any sense in it. I'm wondering what you think has changed, because as another politician quoted, I think it was Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, that in 6 months, Mr. Peter Obi has moved to 3. He's been a member of 3 political parties. Is that worrisome for you?
No, you know, politics is dynamics, and it comes with a lot of principle for you to be able to, you know, stand your ground and do the right thing. When Peter Obi talked about being in Abga, he was talking about when those people who are elected, when people are elected, there's law clearly stopping from moving. But if you, as a citizen of this country, if you are elected as governor, you are elected as senator, House of Rep, you are elected on the manifesto of a political party, and you preach the gospel of that political party during your time of campaign. You are not supposed to move. That is, you know, breach of trust. But as a member, as a citizen of this country, if you look at Section 40, it gives you the right to move, to belong to an association that protects your interests. In fact, the interest was used, and for national development reasons. If people talk about moving from 3 parties, it's just like, you know, political statements are easy to make. It's just from ADC to NDC. It was in Labour, so it was as if we moved to Labour and then moved to 3 parties. And the reason why this movement has happened is probably for ADC. There are a lot of issues I feel must have happened. I'm here to communicate with him officially on this issue, but these are my reasons. One, it was encumbered by so much political crisis. People were even sympathetic to, you know, the party and to him. And you did that, and there was no rotation. So for movement of P2B, it was based on principle. It is based on the fact that certain agreements and certain principles were made. And you look at how responsible he left. There was no, he never disparaged any of the leaders. He said, no, I don't have problem with this, I don't have problem with that. And for me, this is the reason why we are leaving. These legal issues are becoming too much. And if you look at what they are doing in the new party, most people are not asking for structure of the party. They are not asking, oh, remove all your people. Okay, let them remain there. Let's come and run with everybody so that they can, we will not, you know, experience what the inexperienced decisions that were taken in the ADC that led to some of the crises that they eventually witnessed. And people talk about how do P2B survive in a party that government are deliberately involved themselves in trying to orchestrate crisis.
I always find that particular statement. My apologies, Mr. Ame. I always find that part, if you can hear me, I always find that a bit, you know, laughable that, you know, opposition parties are always pointing fingers at another party as being responsible for their woes. It is politics. You guys always say it like that. In fact, Mr. President said it is his pleasure that any party or any competition, you know, working against him is in disarray. I mean, you don't want your business, the business of your competition, to thrive in a way that will affect your own business. So it's just a normal thing. It's in how it's carried out. I think that's really the issue here. So if, as you say, opposition, the ruling party is incurring in the affairs of one particular political party, what is wrong with the opposition party themselves going into the APC and doing their own business as well?
I think you are underestimating the power of the Nigerian presidency. And what if you don't have a Democrat?
Is it not the same Nigerian presidency that was defeated in 2015?
No, I need to clear it to you, defeated or not. The man himself restrained himself and decided to have with dictate of democratic principles. But the current system we have, you could hear a chief of staff to the president saying, oh, you stay in the party and scatter it. People are looking for evidence. There was the INEC itself was established by Section 133. That means as a federal executive body, that if you must get judgment, the INEC must obey. You must get it from state, federal high court. The INEC those appointed in INEC were established in Section 151(1)(c). That means every appointment is federal and the structure is federal. So, but you saw that even in Labour Party, there was a judgment from Nasarawa State High Court, which INEC honored. There's a Supreme Court judgment that was given to the Labour Party. The INEC refused to honor until Peter Obi left. You go to the ADC today. The crisis you talk about ADC, the founder of ADC is my very good friend. My brother, we've been together for many years. He has supported me in ways that most public will not know. But the party was stable. He was enjoying his party until Peter Obi entered the party. And you started seeing court cases, you started seeing status quo antebellum that was misinterpreted by INEC. INEC is not yes, INEC is a registrar and a commission that is involved in the management of political party affairs, but it's not an interpreter for a law. Look at what they wrote, that they have interpreted that particular ruling by the Court of Appeal as removing recognizing the leadership of the ADC. INEC went far beyond the ruling to take that decision for political reasons. And then you are now having a decision to say that no, the man should remain and continue to fight political battles that is being orchestrated by the federal government. There are evidence. It's just that except you refuse to see it.
I think it is better for opposition parties to bring out that evidence. We need that evidence to be able to report, and then we can effectively call the federal government out on that matter. But I know Kayla has one or two other issues to raise with you before we exit this program this morning, but let's take a quick message and we'll be right back.
Back from that commercial break, and we're having that conversation about Peter Obi and what these movements do. I'm going to ask you again. These movements from one place to the other, these accusations that he doesn't want to be able to get into he doesn't want to fight, he wants to be given things. Do you think that these movements chip at his credibility?
No, in fact, he strengthens it.
How?
He strengthens it because you take decision based on the larger interest of the public. Look at the surge in the movement to NDC. If it was weakening it,
people are talking to Jonathan, Jonathan. If Goodluck Jonathan, and the rumors, of course, there's no proof to this. If Goodluck Jonathan decides to run, many people have said he shouldn't. But if he decides to run and he runs under the NDC, Peter Obi will not get the ticket again. He will move again.
The Goodluck is respected. I respect him so much. The federal appointment I got it from Goodluck Jonathan. We are serving in oil and gas, Bonnie, through with my friend Senator Ben Obi, my elder brother. So I know I love him. Everybody loves him. But times have changed, and momentum too is not on his side. I believe he's an elder statesman. He has sacrificed for this country in 2015. And I think his contribution to the development of this country cannot be thrown apart. Most of the people you saw today, they protesting to that place, were the people who orchestrated lies against him. The man who was speaking, the Okere from Delta,
yes.
He was in APC. There were people who were orchestrating misinformation about him. We were standing for him. You can ask Senator Ben Obi. I was at the police headquarters every day because I was supporting him. I was there every day because they said, "Oh, you can't become IPAC chairman. You're not pro-Buhari." So the truth remains that Jonathan has served. But for now, as another statement, I think he should continue to give moral compass, give stability to our democracy across Africa, across the world, and continue to act in that manner and allow the youth of today who are burning with passion to be able to have a credible electoral process, to have an economy that will carry the young people along, that will promote the interest of the SMEs and expand our economy to a point that the current high level of poverty,
yes,
about 40 million people have been driven into abject poverty because of the miscalculation of this government and how they remove West.
Well, we're totally out of time, Mr. Peter Ame, former national chairman of IPAC. Thanks again for being with us on the program. You've left the Labour Party, and we'll be waiting to hear the announcement
after my meeting.
After your meeting today. Thanks again for being with us on the program.
Thank you very much, man.